Oh, what's going on, y'all? Welcome in. Wednesday, Wake Up Barstool. We got Brandon Walker, Connor Griffin, Ebo, and KB in the studio. Hannah Montoya stopped by with another football fast report. We're going to recap Aaron Judge's magical night in the Bronx, all the MLB playoffs, a huge weekend of college football to break down with Brandon Walker. And we turn the page and look forward to the NFL weekend that will be. Let's get it started. Wake Up Barstool starts now. What's up, y'all? Welcome in. Wednesday. What's happening, guys? The boys just made it out of the gym. We'll get to it. As I said, me, Brandon, Ebo, Connor, KB.
What's up?
What up, dog?
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you, my friend.
You had a chance to look so cool with the skee ball.
Yeah.
If you had just sank that last one.
But I made the first one. Did that get on camera?
We didn't see that one.
I literally made the first. Carson!
Yeah.
I made the first
We
shot.
didn't see. You could have looked so cool.
I made like the corner on the first shot.
And that was the 10th take?
Are you out of breath running from the gym? Because you made it in pretty good time.
That was the more impressive part, was the fact that you did make it all the way back here.
You like that spin move that I had?
Yeah, you were high stepping a bit to the studio though with the spin move.
That is,
you basically dropped the football on the ground.
That is one thing that I still do, and I'll probably do till I die. Or at least I hope I will, otherwise I'll feel like I've lost my childhood. But I love hitting pass rush moves on corners. You know, when you're rounding a corner, you do like a little hand swipe and swim.
Yeah.
Maybe like a little rip through. Feels good.
I still dunk on door frames.
Oh,
The best. I like to Euro step door frames. It'll like, bah, bah, lay it up off the top.
I've been dunking on door frames for 40 years.
Yeah?
See? Still youthful.
It's awesome, Evo.
Yeah?
You'd love it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's quite sweet to be able to touch that.
Ebo rocking the first ever quarter zip that I've seen with a hood.
Yeah, scuba. I think it's called a scuba.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's like East Mississippi Community College.
All right, guys, so here is the deal today.
Kyle.
I'm aware.
We got a lot of football to talk about, really good college football slate coming up, but we're going to start in Ebo's realm. We're going to start with baseball. Normally we do Ebo's Teensy Tiny Baseball segment. Again, today it's an extra large Teensy Tiny segment, as the story is Aaron Judge from last night. Yesterday, I owe Aaron Judge an apology. Yesterday, we said he's having the worst 440 postseason of all time.
Would you like to double down and say he's having the worst 6'10"
Yes.
postseason of all time, or would you like to take that back?
I've never seen such an ineffective batting over 500 postseason in my life. No, look, Meek Phil kind of poisoned our brains Monday. He was coming out with all kind of stats about Aaron Judge's numbers were inflated and there was no clutch hitting. And then last night, down 6-3, Judge has his moment. And it's not just the moment itself, and Ebo, you can expound on this, but the quality of the home run. It is a swing and a home run that is quite literally unparalleled.
Yeah, the 0-2 pitch, the best you should be able to do with 100 miles an hour on your hands right there is foul it back. And he somehow hits this 107 miles an hour. Not only does he hit 107 miles an hour, it stays fair. Usually if you get a barrel to something like that, you're pulling it, yanking it foul. One of the most impressive pieces of postseason hitting you'll see. He's hitting .610 for the series now, got his homer. Yankees last night, first 3 innings, I thought, there were several moments where you just looked at him like, this is a dead baseball team.
Yep.
You have Jazz Chisholm yawning on second base.
Yeah, after the bad play, letting the run score.
You have Boone challenging the catcher's interference, which somehow didn't get overturned, but seemingly a waste of a second challenge. You have Vlad Jr. flying base. He basically jumped from third base to home plate. The Yankees were dead dogs, and then all of a sudden, Aaron Judge comes up after the Barger error. Grisham reaches in front of him, 3-run homer, brand new ball game, and it felt in that moment the Yankees might be alive. And it's crazy the difference in mood right now, because I think Yankees fans wake up this morning, they're like, oh, this is our series now.
Yeah.
I think they have the advantage, even though they're down 2-1.
Being at home, they're doing exactly what the Cubs are going to attempt to do later today. So here's some interesting numbers to justify my unparalleled swing claim there. So they started doing StatCast in pitch tracking in 2008. That was a 100-mile-an-hour pitch that was 1.2 feet inside. That is the first time ever in the regular season or the postseason in which somebody has hit a home run on such a pitch. And this year, there have been 528 pitches on 0-2 counts that are thrown out of the zone. 528 100-mile-an-hour pitches out of the zone. First player to hit one of those for a home run.
Did you say there's been 528 100-mile-an-hour pitches outside the zone?
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
We live in crazy times, huh?
100-mile-an-hour pitches. The death of 100-mile-an-hour pitches being the scariest thing ever is kind of troubling. That being said, 0-2 count, to even be prepared to swing at that and be able to get the bat to the ball is incredible. Did you see the ump cam? The ump cam was cool as hell.
This is a really great shot right here.
There's a lot of great shots of this. So what a beautiful, it was a beautiful home run.
Look, you can see the ball coming in through the sky, bounces off, crowd goes crazy.
They also had the double in the, second or third inning when they're down 6-1. The leadoff hitter doubles, and he doubles right behind him and kind of gets everything back on track to set this up. Like, he delivered. He delivered big time.
And that off the foul pole also should give a lot of credit to Joe Davis. It was an electric call where it's like, it could be his moment.
Yep.
Not to be devil's advocate here, though. Not to poo-poo on the situation.
Well, that's exactly what you're about to do.
I am about to totally poo-poo on it.
This is like Ricky Bobby, no offense.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're
Go
about
ahead and
to
squat.
say
Go ahead and squat.
You're going to poo-poo.
Take your squat and do it.
Okay, so hypothetically, if the Yankees lose tonight and the series is over, is that a moment for Aaron Judge?
Yeah, it still is. I don't like this.
I don't like this either.
I don't like, saying, you know what, if this happens, then what we just saw that was awesome totally isn't awesome anymore. Yeah, it's always going to be awesome. That was incredible. 0-2 pitch, 100 miles an hour, the weight of the world on your shoulders, by the way.
Yep.
And nobody else on your team is taking the iron out of the fire. And he steps up, as the MVP should do, and he did it. It was awesome. If it comes out tonight, goes 3 for 3, and they lose, it's still awesome.
That's why I threw out the poo-poo. I wanted to at least start the dialogue.
Throwing the poo-poo out?
Well, because there were people online saying yesterday, like, oh, wow, like Yankees fans celebrating this as his moment, as if they're not down 2-0 in the series in a divisional round. Like, that's why I at least wanted to pose the question.
Yeah, the new Taylor Swift album actually talks about that. People online being stupid, and eldest daughter, and how cynical and cold we've all become. Like, why can't we celebrate something? Like, to your point, if the Yankees go on to do special things, then that gains greater importance.
That's the turnaround.
But if they go on to lose, then it's still one of the best swings we have ever seen. Like, regardless of context. And the fact that it came in the playoffs facing elimination, it's a home run that gives him the most home runs in Yankee history facing elimination, and ties him with David Ortiz for the most home runs in facing elimination in MLB history. So it is an awesome play regardless of what happens from here on out.
It also still goes in the bucket of what's going to paint the picture of this postseason, right? Like, if you had a one shining moment at the end of baseball postseason, that's still going to be there regardless if they lose 12-0 tonight.
Ali Faroukmanesh.
Ali Faroukmanesh.
Yes.
That's still going to be Ali Faroukmanesh from Northern Iowa against Kansas. Kansas?
Yeah.
Kind of lost is Vlad Guerrero's having an incredible
I mean, we were watching.
These two guys are just going back and forth.
You know the meme online where it's like we used to watch gods throw the football, where it's like why we had Drew Brees and Peyton Manning. We're watching gods in the right-handed batter's box just absolutely dominate pitching.
Well, and
he was 8 for 10 at one point in this series.
Yeah, I think he's 8 for 11 now, 3 home runs, 8 RBI. He's been incredible. Ebo, you're a minute man yourself. Does Judge's 6'7" height?
A lot longer than that.
It's too early.
Slick, Mo. No, that was slick, Mo.
It's too early.
I see. But does Judge's height make that swing even more impressive? I've seen that bandied about as well. Like, how can a 6'7" man dig that out?
I mean, I mentioned that, at 6'7", the level of coordination required and athletic ability to get your hands inside and have a short, compact swing is very impressive. I think when you think of guys that would fight off that pitch, you think of like a Craig Biggio or a Jose Altuve, like the short, like stout men. Is that right?
Stocky men.
Yeah. So what was the word you were trying to use?
Stout. It's early.
Stout.
Stocky. I don't know.
Stocky, like corn.
You think of men like me, and not guys like Aaron Judge, not those behemoth men.
Jose Altuve.
Yes, you think of the Jose Altuves being able to get their hands inside. I think this is genuinely like one of the most impressive. I don't want to give our guy Wyatt too much credit because he's an absolute psycho.
I think the most impressive thing is that inflatable washing machine playing catcher for the Blue Jays. He's 5'8", 250 pounds, and he's a 2-time All-Star, Silver Slugger. What he's done with his career is the most impressive thing I've seen.
And considered maybe the best defensive catcher in baseball by some metrics, which is crazy.
He's in the first percentile for running speed.
What?
Yeah.
Of what? First percentile of what?
Like the lowest first.
Oh, I see.
For some reason I was thinking
He's among the
99.
slowest men.
Oh, okay. So he's just a big, just a big pudgy monster.
Alejandro Kirk, yeah.
You know who had the worst tweet last night?
Could be anybody, but yeah, let's hear it.
A guy who you guys won't know because he's on the lowest rated show of this week. It's Dave Portnoy.
Oh, okay.
You guys dominate him on a weekly basis. But Dave Portnoy tweeted out, it was really dorky or something. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember it. It happened hours ago. He was like, it was really dorky of Aaron Judge to look back at the camera in the dugout. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was so sick.
When Aaron Judge came to the dugout, pointed at the camera, walked away, and then turned around and looked one more time, that was cool as hell.
I hate to admit it because they were looking so lame at the start of the game, but the Yankees had some unbelievable cool moments. I mean, the way the Jazz hit that go-ahead homer.
And then toss the bat.
Yeah, that's aura, as the kids call it. That was crazy. I think one guy who is celebrating massively this morning and taking insane victory laps, as he should every time that Aaron Judge does something well, is his hitting coach.
This guy.
Yeah.
I love that
A guy that has been called a madman, an absolute lunatic by the baseball community, saying he doesn't know how to hit, yet Aaron Judge continues to do things we've never seen on a baseball field. He was in the stadium last night.
That form is exactly how he turned on that ball.
I mean, it's unbelievable. If I was a baseball hitter and I saw what Aaron Judge was doing from the right side of the plate right now, I would fire everyone I work with and I would go work with him.
So I've gotten sucked into a few of his like YouTube short holes, and his whole deal is like drop the bat and turn the hips, right? And then it comes through kind of naturally. And that's the only way you're able to dig that out. So look, magical night in the Bronx. Absolutely. Aaron Judge has his moment, and all of a sudden this series looks like it has changed drastically. On the other side of the docket, not as exciting of a game as the Seattle Mariners. Really, the final score 8-4, but pretty much dominate the Tigers beginning to end. But we were given another great moment as in the ninth, Cal Raleigh hits number 61, and out of all of the people that the pig dumper could have dumped on, he dumped on this guy. A guy who literally had a shirt on that said dump 61 here, which would have been cool enough. Only he then shows his love for Cal as he takes off his shirt to reveal dump 62 here as well.
I think there might have been a dump 63 that he had underneath the 62. I think he was prepared for every single outcome in that game.
I did see I saw a PFT tweet highlighting his shirt, and you could see another green collar underneath 62. So that's most likely the case. Look at that. Then he gets to take a picture with Big Dumper afterwards. Mariners, Ebo, kind of feeling like a bit of a team of destiny here a little bit. Can they finally get it done?
I think if you're a Mariners fan, you got to feel really, really good about the team you have, solely because for the last couple of years, you've had one of these elite starting rotations with Bryce Wu and Logan Gilbert and George Kirby. Now you got an offense to back it up, too. I mean, Jorge Polanco, it's the two home runs in game two. You have obviously Cal Raleigh, who's 60. Eugenio is close to 50 home runs in the regular season. I would feel great if I was a Mariners fan about making them out of the American League. I still don't know how I feel if I'm any team that's not the Dodgers. But the Mariners, I mean, you got to feel great. This might be your actual first opportunity to win a World Series, which is awesome.
Ebo, any thoughts on the game coming up today before as we wrap up, prepare to head to the college football world?
My only thought is that how lucky are we to have 4 games today?
Yeah.
Four baseball games today. We could have had only 3. Potentially, as of last night, as of the third inning of the Yankees game. Max Valente, shout out Max, you guys may know him from Pardon My Take. He said it's the closest this feels to a March Madness day, and I kind of agree with him.
It's kind of nice, too. 4 games, no football going toe-to-toe with it either. So we don't have to do the dog with too many tennis ball things. We just have great, high-leverage, live-action sports all day long. And so we're going to continue to celebrate it here on Wake Up Barstool. Coming up next, I do want to dive into the college football world, as we said, as after a bit of a sleepy slate last weekend, this weekend's slate looks massive, guys. So grab a coffee. It's going to be a fun couple hours here on FS1. This is Wake Up Barstool. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool here on FS1. And this man to the right of me, Some claim he is the #1 college football personality in the entire country.
Claim.
The king of college football. That's right. Wait, who's the king? Why am I blanking right now?
The king?
The king of
Jackie
college
Sherrill.
football. No, the king of college football.
I don't know who the king of college
Oh, he's
football
been on air for. It doesn't matter. I screwed.
Oh, is that Tony Barnhart?
No, it'll come to me.
He's Mr. College
Buzz
football.
Brainer.
No.
Who's the king of college football?
Kang, they're going Dr. Doom now.
No. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, that's because.
No.
That was off the field. That was off the.
We're
field
not doing
issues.
nerd stuff.
That was off the field issues that caused him to avoid Kang. Anyway, Chuck. Brandon Walker.
Chuck, you had it right.
Yeah.
It's Chuck.
Why am I blanking? He's at a syndicated
From
show.
Atlanta?
Yes, he's from Atlanta. This is such bad TV, and it's going to drive me crazy.
Chuck.
Chuck Oliver.
Sure.
Chuck Oliver, the king of college football.
Fine.
Not anymore.
It's a great show.
Okay, now Brandon Walker's the king of college football. Brandon, you put together in a weekend slate that has a lot of great games that we're going to get to. Okay, we got Indiana, Oregon, Mizzou, Alabama, Ohio State, Illinois. The Red River rivalry's coming up this weekend. You put together a list of the most important teams heading into this slate. Highlight them.
Yeah, I have 3. Do you remember Leonard's Loser? You remember the syndicated show in the South, Leonard's Losers?
No.
That was awesome. Just a guy in his garage talking about prognosticating games for the weekend in a country accent. Anyway, the 3 most important teams for the weekend, these are the teams that I believe have the biggest opportunities to really upset the apple cart in college football. These are the 3 teams who can change this season for themselves and for the rest of college football. And number 1, the biggest opportunity anybody has all weekend, it's the Missouri Tigers. The drink era has been leading to this moment, this game, this opportunity, this chance with Alabama coming in, Missouri off a bye week. Missouri is just flat out good, and they're not getting the love the other undefeated teams in the SEC are getting. They're not getting the love Ole Miss is getting. They're not getting the love Oklahoma is getting, and I don't know why, because they're just as good as all those teams. Bo Perbula is a great quarterback. Ahmad Hardy and Roberts are one of the best backfields, maybe the best backfield in the entire country. Ahmad Hardy is the best running back in the entire country. Kevin Coleman's a good receiver. Norfleet is a great tight end. This is a very, very good team, and nobody has talked about them. If they beat Alabama this weekend, they're going to force their way into the top 5 or 6. This is the biggest game of the weekend, in my opinion. I love Missouri. I think they're great. I think the quarterback, Penn State.
We can talk about it later.
Don't you wish you still had him?
We can talk about it later. But he's having a great season. I think the main thing with Missouri, they beat Kansas, they beat South Carolina. Very, very solid wins. This is the first test where people are really circling this one. Okay, you beat some good teams. Can you beat the elite teams like an Alabama and the
This
SEC?
is their opportunity.
That's a great point, because we've been pretty consistent on the fact that we believe Mizzou was going to be a playoff team. But we kind of had it as a function of the schedule.
Right.
Where, like, you pencil this in as a loss.
Yeah.
They got one other tough game. You pencil that. But they'll go 10-2 and they'll make the playoff. This is the opportunity, like y'all are kind of painting here, for Mizzou to say, no, it's not just making the playoffs by default, but, like, we believe that we are good enough to be a national title contender. Yeah. And if you look at what Drink has done at Mizzou, it's been a consistent rise. Like, they've been building. I think maybe, Brandon, one of the reasons, if we try to parse, okay, why are they not talked about in the same way that these other teams are? Certainly maybe tradition would be one of them, though they have a more rich tradition they probably get credit for. And then I think it's still maybe like a talent thing, which is a bit deceptive, because as you said, while they might not have the top to bottom blue chip ratio that some of the big boys have as far as starters go, they appear to be as talented as pretty much anyone in the country.
And when you talk talent right there, you're talking about recruiting rankings.
Yes.
You're talking about scouts' opinions and people's opinions of these players. But Ahmad Hardy is a player who went to ULM.
He went to ULM.
Who came out of a tiny high school in Mississippi. Nobody recruited him, and he might be the best running back in the country. So this is one of those teams that might just spit in the face of recruiting rankings. My number 2 team, and this is a team that they've been wanting an opportunity like this. Last year, they had a couple of opportunities. They went to the playoff, but they never won one of these games. In fact, they were not competitive in these games. They played Ohio State on the road, weren't competitive. They played Notre Dame in the playoff, they weren't competitive. Indiana at Oregon.
Yep.
Indiana, a couple of weeks ago, had their big moment at home where they could beat a ranked team, and they won that. They passed that test with flying colors.
And it's a win that's appreciating in value, too.
They killed Illinois 63-10, and they passed their first test of the season. And now it's like, oh, okay, well, you guys might be for real. But you have to go on the road and beat an Oregon team who won at Penn State a couple weeks ago, which who knows how that win's going to age.
Right.
They won in double overtime. Who knows how we kind of put them on a pedestal. So this is a prove-it weekend for both of them. Indiana has to prove they don't even have to win the game. They just don't have to get blown out like they did against Ohio State and Notre Dame last year. This is a team with the schedule going forward. They can be a playoff team, but this is a big spot that they failed in twice last year. If they pass it this year, you got to talk about Indiana as here to stay.
So if their goal is to not lose by a lot, and they're down 10 heading in the half, and they punt on 4th and 1 from the opponent 40. Are you going to give
That's
them
exactly what
a
I
pass?
don't want to see. That's exactly what I don't want to see. I want to see Indiana go out there and play to win the football game, not play to cover the spread, not play to look like they were in the game like they did against Ohio State last year. Last year against Ohio State, Notre Dame was pathetic. It was Kurt Cignetti, who talks a big game and is a great coach, laid down and let those teams rub his belly.
To Cignetti's credit, if we look back at the Illinois game, it's lost because of the eventual drubbing that it became. But there was that early 4th and 2. I think it might have been their own territory, right around midfield. He went for it. They ended up going up 14-0, and kind of the rest was history. So that was a pretty aggressive move in a big spot. I view this very similar to kind of the Mizzou opportunity. In wrestling terms, Brandon, like this is a great chance for them to go over. Yeah. And to assert themselves. I've been banging this drum for weeks. Why can't Indiana be a national title contender? Why can't they be a power in the Big Ten year in and year out? They've got a massive alumni base. Look, when you start to win, that spurs investment. I think you made a great point. Are they going to start winning recruits? That only time will tell. But they got the quarterback right now. And so if they win this week and all of a sudden you got to think, okay, when you're thinking Big 3 in the Big Ten, it's Ohio State, it's Indiana, and it's Oregon. Penn State officially going to be out of that grouping.
Speaking of Indiana, just to one more shout out to Bradley Cooper, live event Lisa's dog. Lisa is the one who did the set, and shout out Bradley Cooper in his Indiana bib right there.
Yeah, and shout out my two Hoosier friends, Michael Kadick and Ella Griff. New Big Boys Club episode dropping tomorrow. So make sure you check that out.
Intentional omission of a third potential Indiana friend, white boy Rick?
I forgot about Rick. That's really bad on me. I apologize.
Actually. And
he's gotten too skinny.
Good morning, Rick.
Yeah.
Rick hasn't gotten skinny.
Yes. Rick's lost a lot of weight.
Has he really?
Yeah, he looks incredible.
He's slimming down quite nice.
I don't look at him.
He's been dieting. He looks great. He's dunking again.
I don't look at my coworkers. Kyle, do you look at your coworkers?
No, but he reminds me of another Indiana alum.
Who's that?
Who's lost a lot of weight.
All right, moving along. My third team with a huge opportunity this weekend. They're different than the other two because the other two, one's playing Alabama, one's playing Oregon, both top 10 teams. I think Oklahoma has a massive opportunity this weekend. Oklahoma has to prove that these crazy surgeries that we're coming up with in college football are working. It's the old tightrope surgery where Nick Saban would harvest the ankle of a drifter and put it on his best player.
Hey, you don't want to be talking crap about tightrope right now, Brandon. That's going to help your boy Fluff out. Okay,
fair enough.
You're about to benefit from tightrope yourself.
Fair enough. We saw John Mateer go down a couple of weeks ago at the end of the Auburn game, and we wondered, how long will he be out? If he's now trying to come back and play this Texas game. If John Mateer comes back, and if they beat Texas, it's less about beating Texas. I don't think Texas is very good. It's more about Oklahoma starting 6-0 and looking like the contender they have not looked like since they joined the SEC and since Venables got there. Venables doesn't really have he has the fluke win over Texas a couple of years ago, but doesn't really have the win where you're like, okay, now we're 6-0, we're a national title contender. This SEC goes through us. The back half of the schedule looked terrible to start the season. It has come down to earth. LSU doesn't look as unbeatable as we thought they might look. South Carolina isn't very good. Nope. Like those back half of that schedule for Oklahoma looks way more manageable. And if they get through Texas, the whole world opens up to them.
Does this feel like a spot where this Venables era Oklahoma program, they would slip up even though Texas?
So that's the biggest thing about this. If they lose, disaster. If they lose to Texas, now they're 5-1.
What if Mateer doesn't play? It's not a disaster if he doesn't play, right? It's just unfortunate.
It really hurts them because I think going into that back half of the schedule 6-0 as opposed to 5-1 is a big difference because they still got a trip to Alabama coming up.
Yeah.
So like it's still, I just think you put your national title. If you win this game 6-0, you're thinking national title playoff. If you lose it, you're thinking, all right, how can we sneak into the playoff?
Look how crazy having the 6 next to Oklahoma and no number next to Texas appears.
Well, look how crazy it is. We have seen Texas now 5 times. They haven't looked impressive once.
No.
They looked less than impressive against Florida, and they're playing the number 6 team in the country on Saturday. Texas still favored.
KB, have you heard of the legend of Dr. Shin?
Dr. Tibia in the medical community, but yes, he is the Shohei Ohtani of orthopedics. He does both the hand and the wrist. What he's done with the ulnar connective ligament is Newtonian. It's going to be a legacy game for Dr. Shin. I'm so glad he's finally getting the shine he deserves. He's worked with Steph Curry. He's worked with Mike Trout. He's worked with Drew Brees. He saved their seasons. That's $1 billion worth of hands in his hands. I think he might be the most valuable sports person we have on this planet.
And
Is he about to replace Dr. James Andrews?
I was going to say, is this an opportunity to become the #1 orthopedic surgeon in the game?
Dr. James Andrews has held the crown for a long time.
Yeah.
The only problem is Dr. Andrews was a shoulderman. And
Dr. James Andrews did everything.
He was a kneesman as
He
well.
does everything, but he was a knees and shoulderman. And ultimately, those are going to come into play, I feel, a bit more often than hands.
So we needed a wristman.
He needed to do heads and toes as well if he really wanted to be a well-rounded doctor there. But
New York had Linsanity. Norman, Oklahoma has Shinsanity.
Love that.
If you want to do yourself a favor, go just type Dr. Shin into Twitter, and you will get a collection of some of the best memes that you have ever seen in your entire life, as Oklahoma fans have put all of their hopes and dreams in Dr. Shin. I mean, you want to talk about a fan base that is one of the least suffering of all time with the Sooners. I mean, one of the winningest, all they've done since the late 90s is win 10 games a year in conferences, and it's been awesome. And then the Venables era, to Brandon's point, has been an abject disaster to this point. And now they have a chance on Saturday in the Red River rivalry to completely change the narrative, bury their arch rival, ruin what should have been a championship season, and vault themselves to the top. Like, if those narratives don't appeal to you, that doesn't make you feel alive, I think you're already dead.
is it hard for you to flip the switch in your head thinking of Oklahoma and assuming they win this game, their identity being winning with defense? Because for the last 20 years, it has been shootout offense. Even if you're going all the way back to like Sam Bradford days of Oklahoma, you're thinking massive high-flying offense. And now their MO is kind of they play really good defense.
Me and Brandon are old enough to remember some Oklahoma defense.
Oh,
Sure.
That what was the national championship?
13-2.
Yes.
They won. They beat Florida State, beat Chris Winkie for a national title, 13-2. Teddy Lehman, Roy Williams.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm trying to.
I feel like there's been a lot of
There's
Roy
been a
Williams.
lot. There's been a lot.
It's like Mike Williams.
Tommy Harris.
Way too many Mike.
Tommy Harris, early 2000s Oklahoma defense. He played for the Bears forever. It is different, but I feel like it's weird in the fact that last year they had this championship defense, but the offense was so bad. So now it's just any return to normalcy for Oklahoma on the offensive side balances out with that championship level defense. You're right. It is different, but when you hire, this is the decision they made when they hired Brent Venables. They said, we're going to get tougher, better on defense, and then we assume we'll always have the offense. They haven't. Now they got it back.
John Mateer, man. It's amazing what a quarterback can do. No, I don't know if there's another sport where one position weighs so much more heavily on the entire sport than anything else. Like
Well, one superstar in basketball.
So I was going to say that, but that's a function of the sports being different at their core, right?
Right.
Basketball is considered a strong link sport. One player on the court is 20% of your production. So one great player can change everything. Football, it's 11 people.
Yeah.
So in theory, one link is what, 8, 9%? And so you're only as strong as your weakest link, except when it comes to quarterback. They can change everything. They change belief, leadership, and John Mateer has that in spades. Can Dr. Shin have him ready to go? The other massive game coming up this weekend is Ohio State and Illinois. This feels another kind of how good are they really test for Ohio State. We said this going into the Washington game on the road. They handled their business very convincingly there. And now they're going to square up with an Illinois team that really recovered nicely from that setback against Indiana. And guys, we're not giving enough credit to Luke Altmaier. He has basically played perfect football this entire year.
I think Fornelli on the Cover 3 podcast shared a stat where of the top 10, passing games, via the metrics this year, Illinois has 2 of them, and their last 2 games out, they've been like perfect passing the football.
Yep.
And I'm not sure that's what we expected out of Luke Altmaier. I expected him to be solid and good and dependable, not explosive. So, that again, Ohio State, though, me and you have had this conversation back and forth over the last couple of weeks. We kind of crowned them as the best team in the country, no question, no doubt. They're above everybody else a little bit early, I think. And this is another chance for them to prove, because the Texas win, not aging that perfectly. The Washington win was fine, but I don't know how good Washington is. Last week they beat Minnesota. Minnesota's not very good. This might be their best win if they go and handle business against Illinois.
I think it's unquestionably their best win. The only thing is, from a matchup standpoint, I am a little worried for our Illini, simply because you look back at that Indiana game and what Mendoza and the weapons did, and then on the flip side, how helpless the Illinois offensive line looked. And they bounced back, but Ohio State is going to be bringing everything Indiana was to bear and then some.
Yeah.
Maybe except for the Say and Mendoza split. It definitely seemed like Cignetti empowers Mendoza more so than they're currently doing with Sayin. But this is going to be a great game. How can Illinois quit themselves? I'm very much looking forward to it.
This is a massive weekend for Indiana. If you go on the road and you beat Oregon and Illinois somehow pulls off this 14.5-point upset, Indiana's got to be a top 3 team in the country.
Yeah.
Maybe top 2.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe number 1.
Transitive properties would vault them.
Do you think they'd be worthwhile or deserving of a number 1 ranking?
I think you'd have
win
to.
up the road to Oregon.
I love it.
You'd have to look at it. I think you'd have to look at it because
Miami would be the other one, because Miami has the most ranked wins in the country right now.
So 2 in this scenario, number 1 and number 3 both lose. Indiana obviously moves up. So it's Indiana or Miami for number 1. Miami does have a great resume so far, but I think
in the name brand, I don't know if they're jumping Miami.
They probably split the votes though.
Yeah,
they probably split the votes.
I love a cheeky number 1. God, let's get the Hoosiers to 1. All right, guys. When we get back,
I think any team that gets to number 1 has earned it, and if you getting number 1 in the regular season is better than winning a national title.
And it's way more important if it's the college football playoff ranking.
Yeah.
It's not this
First one
silly
ever.
little AP poll.
Yeah.
Never forget the first ever number 1 team in the college football playoff, Mississippi State.
And that's more important than anything.
Go Dogs. Coming up next, our guy Connie, once again, going to tell you what's cool and what's not with his Griff ins and outs. Don't go anywhere. More Wake Up Barstool on FS1. What's happening, everybody? Welcome in, Wake Up Barstool. It is time for Connor Griffin's Griff ins and outs every single week. Connor tells us old people what's cool and what's not. Connor, what's going on, man? What do we got this weekend?
Hello. The stuff, that we are bringing with us from past weekend into this upcoming weekend, and then the stuff that we want to leave behind. This is my first in, and Brandon, you're going to love this one.
I doubt it.
Eye patches. Eye patches are so in.
Oh, finally.
There was a report in the offseason that the Texas A&M mascot, their live collie, Revly, had to get eye surgery, had to get her eye removed because she had glaucoma, and there were reports saying that she was going to wear an eye patch. There were AI images of her wearing an eye patch that Brandon absolutely fell for. We made fun of him for it, but here she was on the field this past weekend rocking an eye patch, and it looked awesome.
I simply brought that eye patch picture to Mostly Sports a couple of months ago when it came out, and you guys told me it was AI, and I said, this looks sick, this looks awesome. And you guys said, you're stupid, you're old, you're a boomer. No, that's what they said. That's what they said.
You thought it was real. You thought it was real.
But
if it was
I
real,
corrected that it looked awesome and it looked sick. And now, there she is on the field at A&M wearing the exact same eye patch, and it looks sick. It looked awesome.
And thankfully, she seems to be doing well after the surgery. She's recovered. Personally, I think for all live mascots moving forward, this would be a great thing to do. Bevo, maybe Ralphie out there in Boulder.
Take out their eye?
No. Put the eye patch on. You don't have to get that morbid. But just in general, get the eagle flying over Jordan-Hare and all that. Like, put the eye patch.
You just want accessories.
I'm sorry. What would you call Auburn Stadium?
Isn't that how they say it down south? Jordan-Hare?
Jordan what?
Jordan-Hare.
Jordan-Hare.
You screwed up.
Changed the wrong word.
I was trying to sound southern there. It backfired.
You flipped your vowel pronunciation.
Fair.
I mean,
fair.
they shouldn't say Jordan.
Yeah.
But they do.
All right. Well,
Do y'all remember the Mythbusters eye patch episode?
No.
No.
It was about why pirates would wear them, and they said it was to have one eye ready for night raids. So like this eye would sit in darkness, and you could flip it over, and it could see in the dark, basically.
oh, wow.
Isn't that cool?
Eye patches are cool.
Are we just making that up, though? Did pirates even wear eye patches?
I don't know.
Yeah, I always thought that was just like a Hollywood depiction.
Vikings didn't have horns, so I don't know.
Connor, would you be willing to sacrifice one of your brows?
Absolutely not. Next one.
He just got
I would never do that. I'm addicted to having eyebrows.
He just got those. They look great.
All right, out. Sticking with mascots. Cosmo the Cougar. I'm out on this guy.
What? Come on, dude.
That's
This is the lamest take.
No, he's going to hurt himself. I'm out on him for his own well-being. He's catapulting himself. He's pole vaulting over this crossbar of flames. It's like an X Games version of what Will Ferrell was doing in Old School. He's going to hurt himself. I'm saying I'm out on him because every single time I see one of these videos, I get scared.
But wait. This is just a costume, right? They bring in experts to do all these things. Like the push-ups when he did the tables, that's a different guy than the dancer Cosmo. That's a different guy than the pole vaulter Cosmo, right?
No.
It's not all one guy. It's not all one guy.
I'm under the impression that the person under the Cosmo suit is basically Clark Kent. Like you have
I don't
some
like this,
massive
Brandon.
superhero level tryouts to become an
There's
Avenger.
no way one guy's doing all this.
You just shattered my naive belief. I never even considered this would be
No,
more than
I think
one
the
guy.
Cosmo the Cougar mascot, whoever is under that suit is a superhuman.
Wrong discussion. The discussion we ought to be having is it's absurd he put him on the out list.
Because I'm worried. Look at how close he
It's a
comes
team
to the
of
flames.
students, typically 10 to 14 people, who are kept secret.
Wow. I will say this, the most impressive part about the vault is the extra half flip that he pulls at
That
the
too.
end. I mean, he gets all the way back to his belly. The only thing that could have made that cooler was if he ripped off the head and it was Mondo Duplantis. It was Mondo the entire time.
I've been holding this take back. We don't talk about Mondo enough. We should have segments dedicated to Mondo. Mondo might be the greatest athlete on earth right now.
Lafayette, Louisiana, baby.
I know Mondo Duplantis. But
World
the
record
audience might
pole
not know.
vaulter, world record pole vaulter
Yeah.
who breaks his world record every other week by a centimeter, so he gets the bonus of breaking the world record.
Could be doing it for America, but our Olympic trials are not as friendly as Sweden's.
Listen, the ins and outs, they're up for interpretation. They could be debated. This one, I think we can all
What do you mean they're up for debate? It's in and an out.
No, we can agree on this one. My next in, girl bossing. Girl bossing is so in right now. Angel Reese.
Hell yeah.
She was accused of people saying, she gets all these rebounds by her own offensive rebound. She's me-bound and blah, 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 blah. They were criticizing her. My girl turns it around and she says, I'm going to make money off of this. She revealed on her podcast, she put out me-bounds merch and it made her, she said it, quote, 6 figures plus.
Let's go.
Which I don't get the plus part. Wouldn't that just be 7 figures? But regardless, she's making money off of it. She's girl bossing, doing her thing. Shout out to Angel Reese. Love my Chicago Sky.
I think she's girl bossing too close to the sun.
Think the wax is going to melt off of her girl boss wings?
I don't know. Also, those maybe the ugliest shoes I've ever seen.
I don't think those are ugly.
Well,
I don't mind
that's
them.
what I said. I said my opinion.
They're flying off the shelves.
I said mine.
They're not flying off the shelves.
They're flying off the shelves.
She's got
flying off the
T-shirts.
shelves.
She's got everything. She's got everything.
I actually think a lot of the WNBA signature shoes look pretty good. The Sabrinas look pretty good.
Why are you looking at me? I'm not going to give you
I don't
what
think
you
I
want.
know what Sabrina has.
Smokes is wearing the Sabrinas the other day. I was like, those look pretty good. dude.
Nikki Smokes?
Yeah.
That's your measure of a shoe looking good.
Also, speaking of girl bossing, I've listened to that new Taylor Swift album probably about 20 times. Never been a Taylor Swift fan. I find it to be wonderfully listenable.
It is universally panned, even by Swifties, isn't it?
Is it?
There's a rising contingent of Swifties who have praised her for years, who are now saying, this.
Why? Because they don't want her
You
to
might
be,
have missed on this one.
They don't want her to be happy?
I don't know.
Well, get the track-by-track edition.
Don't tell us next, producer. We're talking about T Swift.
Hey, I will oblige. I will move on. This one, Brandon, I know is absolutely going to agree with. My next out, spending time with the wife. Am I right, Brandon? Meow Mix, the electric Carolina Panthers fan podcast, they announced this past week they can no longer commit time on their Sundays to do this podcast because the team is so bad they can't justify going on air and hosting this show while taking time away from spending with their husband, not their husband, their wife, their kids, all that type of stuff. They're taking time away from their families to do this podcast. They're not doing the podcast anymore, though, because of that. And I think if this is something you're passionate about and you love talking about your team, you got to commit to the podcast. You got to at least ride it out for the rest of the year. Because I saw this, it brought a tear to my eye. They can't justify spending time away from their family anymore because the team is so bad.
But the Panthers kind of aren't that bad. Like they are, but they're not like an abject disaster. Bryce Young gives you just enough moments week to week to make you a little bit excited.
They're 2-3, right?
Yeah, they're 2-3.
2-3 with a 30-0 win over the Texans, I believe.
The Falcons.
I think this guy just loves his wife. That's what this guy. Let's make fun of this guy for loving his wife.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw that, and I just imagine, if I just hung this job up and I was like, guys, I'm gonna go spend time with my wife. And
you hit one thing that was always a hard and fast rule in the Hebert household, which was you can quit in the off season, but you can never quit midstream.
Yeah.
Like whenever you start something, you gotta finish it. And then if you wanna back off afterwards, meow mix, you gotta take this back. You got to finish out the season. It's 17 games. To your point, you probably won't make the playoffs, and then you have the rest of your lives to spend with your families.
Yeah.
Can't believe our producer nexted us while talking about Taylor Swift.
I know. I know.
He did it again in our ear. Okay, my last in, it's ping pong. Ping pong is a sport, and it is back because Marty Supreme, the new Timothée Chalamet movie, is coming out. It premiered in like this weird kind of last minute. It was a very small premiere in New York City. Our very own Bob Goochman Gooch back in New York.
Love Gooch.
He was able to go see it. This is getting so much praise. It's not even funny. They're saying it's Chalamet's best role. We had Forrest Gump years ago. We had Balls of Fury. We had Drake and Josh smashing the window of transparency. But ping pong has been in a little bit of a downturn recently. It's going to come back to the forefront. It's going to reach new heights.
Frank Caliendo on the Yak yesterday.
Frank Caliendo
Big
as well.
ponger. I've heard that this is an even more intense, like Uncut Gems type of vibe, but it's a ping pong movie.
Chalamet has spent, since 2018, every single movie for the most part that he's done, whether it's Dune, Wonka, whatever the case is, he's brought a ping pong table with him, and he's been practicing for this role.
What?
For the past 7 years.
I think table tennis is one of the most underappreciated sports in terms of athletic ability required. I don't think people realize how much leg strength, footwork, and even like core stability it requires.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be able to turn over those shots. You got to be able to be in the right in the right zone, and it's like one of the most watchable sports. Like you don't have to watch it regularly, but when the Olympics come around, you just turn it on and you get your mind blown.
It's the most visually impressive.
Yes.
I would agree. And then my last out, it's friendly bets. You know, sometimes you make a friendly bet with your buddy, like, hey, if my team wins and your team loses, you got to wear my team's jersey. For those people who don't know, I agreed when Penn State was playing UCLA. I agreed with Blutman that if UCLA upset Penn State, I would be his butler for the week, the Blutler.
The Blutler.
And thankfully, he's in Vegas today. I don't have to do anything, but I did have to give him a ride to the airport yesterday, which was awful. There it is. I look photoshopped in that picture.
You look ghostly.
Yeah.
You look so ghostly.
It's a common trend.
Photoshopped in every single
It's the HDR on the iPhone camera. It just screws me over so bad. But it has not been fun. It has been miserable. I hate being his butler. I'll be his butler.
Stop right there. Stop right there. You lost the bet. You showed up on Monday and you started the butler residency, right?
Correct.
He flew out to Vegas on Tuesday, isn't coming back till Thursday afternoon. There's a sizable chunk of this week you're not going to have to do anything.
You're getting lucky.
Just bet that you got lucky. You got lucky 3 days out of the 5.
Yep.
He's not going to be here. I think you should have to be his butler next week.
I agree. I think because it was such a big win, I think you have to make up for lost time.
It's ridiculous that you're skating on this. You drove him to the airport. Yay. You drove 33 minutes.
Would you drive Liam Blutman to the airport?
Absolutely. It's on my way home.
Okay, there we go. It's just more so the shame. I guess you could throw in an additional out.
You should be in Vegas right now with him.
My additional out is my happiness and my overall sanity.
Oh my God, the Eagles lose one time in 220 days.
It's
Shut up!
It's been a bad week.
Well,
anyway.
hold on. It's Penn State losing.
No, I know. It's Phillies. It's Eagles. I love
Phillies.
it.
Yeah, we can
love
wrap
all
up
of
the
it.
segment.
Connor, have your new eyebrows ever got to witness a Penn State team beat a Power 4 team?
That's a.
Wait,
They have not.
they have it.
His eyebrows
End the
don't have a
segment.
Power 4
Go to
win.
break. Those are the ins and outs. T-Bob, I'm done.
No, no Power 4 wins for Connie's eyebrows. Let's close out hour one next.
Hey,
What's happening, everybody? Welcome into Wake Up Barstool. Great ins and outs there, Connor.
Thank you.
Right now, we're going to talk a little college, and we'll talk some NFL as well. And let's dive back into the college football realm. And I want to talk about the 2 lost teams because One of the overall themes of college football right now that I have found to be quite fun, actually, and I think it's a good thing, is that our preconceived notions have been shattered. The teams that we thought were going to be great maybe are not, and a lot of new challengers have entered the mix. I think this is good for the health of the sport. I think it makes things very exciting. But some of those teams that have maybe fallen off have 2 losses. It's Notre Dame, it's Penn State, that's Florida State, and that's Texas. And especially when you talk about Penn State and Texas, you're talking about 2 teams that were national championship darlings. 1 and 2 in almost every single preseason poll, predictions, whatever have you. And so it does beg the question, out of the 4 teams that I just said, Notre Dame, Penn State, Florida State, Texas, which 2-loss team do you think now we have it written here as a better chance at the playoff, and then maybe we can even extend it into national title contenders. Who's the best team of this bunch?
Oh, the easiest answer of all time here, it is Notre Dame. Notre Dame's going to the playoff. Notre Dame they lost to Miami by 3. Miami's now a number 2 team in the country. They lost to A&M by 1 on a missed extra point. A&M is now the number 5 team in the country.
Yep.
Like, those 2 losses are aging beautifully. They competed with them. They have cruised ever since. They won at Arkansas by 90. They beat Boise State by 100. They are the quarterback is good. The offense is good.
Great.
The defense is getting better. They're just flat out going to the playoff. They're going to get to 10-2, and without any good wins, they're still going, because as we saw last year, not having any good wins, really not that big of a deal.
They're
Indiana
also
got in.
The only team on this list that doesn't really have any warts. Like Penn State has the road loss to UCLA. Florida State not going to make their conference championship game at this point. In Texas, we've seen no good quarterback play out of them. Notre Dame obviously doesn't have to play the conference championship game either, which 10-2 very much on the table.
Florida State is the second best team here, I believe, and I
Over Penn State.
I believe they are. Now Penn State is a very interesting case study going forward, right? Because there's still talent on that team, and it's still a team that lost to Oregon in double overtime. That was a coin flip game. It just was. Then they lose to UCLA, changes the entire conversation about it. If, and this is a 0.00005% chance, if they get off the mat, and if they go to Ohio State and win, and it would be one of the more miraculous stories in college football. I don't think they can do it, but I think the talent is there. If the coach can get his head out of somewhere, they can at least rally and be a problem for Indiana, who comes into Happy Valley in a couple of weeks, right?
The last month of November, you're going to see Penn State go on the road to Columbus against maybe the number 1 team of the country. You're going to see them then the next week get Indiana, who could be top 10, top 15. Hell, if they beat Oregon this week, maybe top 5. And then ultimately you play Nebraska also at home that month. So a lot is left on the table for Penn State. I just know the team that we've seen from Penn State the first 5 weeks or 6 weeks now, it's not been anywhere close to what we were promised.
Deeply flawed.
Yes, absolutely flawed on both sides of the ball.
I think what I was trying to say there is Penn State doesn't have a chance to make the playoff because the loss at UCLA is too crippling. But in this hypothetical, they would be the most fascinating 2-loss team. If they were to put this back together, it would be an absolute roller coaster of a season.
Yeah, I don't think it's likely, but if Penn State were to come out and beat Ohio State and Indiana and pick up 2 top 15 wins in the back half of the year.
But that's the problem. They just can't beat Ohio State.
They can't, but at the same time, it would be the 2 best wins that we at Penn State have had in a long time.
He's talking himself into it. You see his face?
So I'm just saying.
His eyebrows are glowing.
Last year's resume from Penn State didn't include a single signature win. Those would be 2. So it's not going to happen. I'm not talking myself into it. But if it did happen, it would be interesting.
You're absolutely talking yourself into it. Signature wins.
Are
they the most overrated thing in the sport right now?
Because you know what's going to happen over the next month is South Carolina is going to go have a 5-game stretch where they can have 2 signature. There's going to be a lot of 9-3 teams with really good wins on their resume that have no chance of making the playoffs.
That's going to be football from now. KB, do you have any thoughts on this Penn State paradox?
Nothing on Penn State, but it is a Pope death year, so look for Notre Dame to finish the season with 9 wins.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, they tend to do that.
They still have USC on the schedule.
That would be the most likely loss.
How many Pope death years with 9 wins do we have?
The last 5.
Wow.
You're kidding.
No.
The last 5 times a Pope died, Notre Dame has won 9 games?
2022, 2013, 2005, 1978. The last 4. I'm sorry.
How do you find these?
I didn't sleep just to get that, so yeah, really take it in.
I'm going to play with that one. That's
I
an
was
incredible
trying to get
stat.
anything.
That's better than the Heisman, the running backs winning the Heisman every year ends with 5.
That is such a good stat that I am now convinced Notre Dame's only.
Well, they still
9.
do play USC.
The whole time I've said for weeks they're going to go 10-2, and now not at all. The power of the papacy is just a bit too strong. Sorry, CJ Carr, you were awesome. I want to get to Arch Manning a little bit later in the show, but right now let's flip it over. Let's start talking about the NFL. Another weekend about to begin, and there's a lot. Well, it's going to get started, Connor, with your Eagles back in action Thursday night. Eagles-Giants. I mean, you want to talk about a charmed existence. What a way for Philly to get off the mat here.
Yeah, it's a bounce-back game against the Giants, who we've beaten up on quite a bit, especially last year. But I don't know. I worry about Patullo and the way he's conducting this offense. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, they met earlier this week to discuss the problems that they're having offensively to try and rebound. Because, again, yes, 4-1. They came out, they had 4 amazing wins, and then they should have beat the Broncos, another very good team, last week, and then they failed.
Hold on. We're calling all their wins amazing. You know, they had to block 2 field goals, and they had
I'm saying against quality opponents. Like, that was a very tough stretch to start the season.
They very easily could have dropped a couple in that stretch.
Absolutely.
But they win, dude. That's what the Eagles do.
They were amazing wins
Hurts
based
does.
on the competition. They were not amazing wins in terms of the performance. They have not been consistent. They have not found their identity offensively. Saquon Barkley still has not been able to get going. The passing game obviously has been under so much scrutiny. And now the defense, they really haven't done well against the run. I don't think the Giants are going to be the team to further expose that, but they need to get right in this game and fix some things, because this is typically, like last year, week 5, week 6, this is where the team really found their stride and went on a run. So we'll see.
So here on Wake Up Barstool, we actually don't talk that much Cowboys. We do talk a lot of Eagles. But if I had to offer y'all an opportunity to highlight a team that we are not talking about enough, is there one that is top of mind?
Well, you just took it. You just took it from me. It's the Cowboys. I think Dak Prescott's playing at an MVP level. Dak Prescott's been the best quarterback in the league this year, him and Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Those are 1 and 2. As far as, Dak is delivering. CeeDee Lamb's been out the last couple of weeks. Dak doesn't care. He's just still throwing for 300 yards. He's winning games. They got the one tie. If they had won that game, boy, they'd really be sitting pretty. But I think you're not talking about the Cowboys enough. Their defense is terrible. The offense is fantastic so far.
I think if Dak Prescott wasn't the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, he'd be much more endearing to America. He came from a shitty little college football school, was drafted late in the draft.
Sorry, Ebo.
Ebo with
you
2
just
violations
you
this
just
year.
got
You beat Dave Portnoy in the ratings, and you think you say whatever you want.
Unbelievable.
Little school in Mississippi. Now he's the star quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, and I mean, I know your point.
I hope it was worth it.
I know your point got blown up there, but it is a point well made, because his story is it's very heartbreaking in a lot of ways. The personal tragedies that he's had to fight through, like you said, coming up from nothing, being drafted late in a league where normally the great quarterbacks are always top 5 picks. Like, the only reason he's disliked is for the sins of the Cowboys.
He gets the most bizarre hatred in sports.
Yeah.
And he's the most underrated quarterback we got.
A team that's bad that we're likely not talking about enough, that I kind of believed in before the season, were the Raiders.
Yeah.
I thought, you get Pete Carroll, one of the best coaches we've
Why
ever seen
did
in our
you believe
lifetime.
in him?
Because Pete Carroll brings a level of competency with him that I think that's what the Raiders have missed almost more than anything. He felt like a voice that could stand up to ownership and actually make decisions. I love the Ashton Ginty draft pick, echoes of beast mode. You bring in Geno Smith, who appears he lost whatever he had in Seattle, but it made sense to me on paper. I didn't think the Raiders were going to be great, but I thought they would be far better than what we've seen thus far, as they have fallen apart after week 1. They're 1-4. Geno's throwing a ton of picks, and they just feel absolutely dead in the water.
Well, the Ravens as well. The Ravens is starting 1-4, but I guess we are talking about them. We're talking about their collapse.
Yeah, because that's a massive story.
That's a massive team. That's a massive story. Yeah, you're right. The Raiders are kind of going under the radar, but I feel like any hope that they were going to turn the corner was just that hope, right? And when hope doesn't turn out to be true, you kind of chalk it up saying, well, we missed the boat on that one. I don't know. Geno's probably got the biggest fall off of anybody in the sport. Geno's been awful.
Yeah. It's
Well, piggybacking off of what you just said there, Brandon, with the Ravens, I feel like we're talking about them in the context of like, oh, Lamar's injured, they'll be back, but like the defense has been injured as well. The defense has been historically bad.
Yeah.
Really bad. I think it's 41 points, 38 points, 37 points, and then 44 points they've allowed in their 4 losses this year. And that's partially what triggers me to talk about this next team that I really think we're not talking about enough. The Houston Texans started off 0-3.
Yeah.
All one-score losses against very, very good teams. They've been overshadowed by these up-and-comers in their own division in the AFC South.
Yeah, Jags and Colts.
Exactly,
4-1.
yeah. But Texans have found something the past couple weeks. They had a get-back game against the Titans, which obviously the Titans are terrible, but they still shut them out 26-0. They then come out last week. They hang 44 on the Ravens. And again, the Ravens, coming into the year, were supposed to have a great, great defense. And now they have a bye week. I think coming out of the bye, you could see the Texans really, really start to hum. And I think we should absolutely be talking about them a little bit more. They found something in these past
Remember, the
couple weeks.
Texans' Big Cat's Pinky team.
What is that?
That is a team that starts 0-2, but is still but coming in was considered like a Super Bowl contender. And if they win the Super Bowl, Big Cat has to cut the tip of his pinky off.
Gotcha.
And so the Texans getting hot's a little scurry.
You don't know Big Cat's Pinky team?
I did not know.
I didn't know it before doing this show, to be fair.
And nobody knows this right now, but
You're deep in the Barstool weed.
It's a great setup for the segment that we were going to launch, and let's just go ahead and do it right here. Connor Griffin's eyebrows team.
Stop.
And if
we got to move off the eyebrows.
This is a team that started 1-3. If they make the playoffs, Connor has to shave his eyebrows.
No.
Go ahead and roll who is your Connor Griffin eyebrow team?
These eyebrows have done me wonders. I love my life with eyebrows. I am never going back to not having eyebrows.
You haven't beat a Power 4 team with the eyebrows.
We didn't look good for the entirety.
You won a Super Bowl without eyebrows.
You did win a Super Bowl
the
that
Titans. They're 1-4. See the Titans.
Yeah, see the Titans. Well, he said 1-3 though. The Titans started 0-3.
Out of principle, I'm not giving into this bullying.
They are.
I'm not giving.
Not bullying. It's content. It's a segment.
I'm not saying a team.
It's on the. It's on
Why are we
now.
doing graphics like this? This is crazy.
God, say the Giants. Just say it.
Just say the Giants. The Giants won't make the playoffs, dude. It's Jackson Dart, Kim Scatterby. Just say the Giants. You're so safe.
Say the Giants.
Your eyebrows could not be less imperiled than if you chose the Giants. You're gonna beat them tomorrow, dude.
The New York Football Giants.
You could have gone Bengals.
Okay.
No, too late. You said the Giants.
You're going to turn Brandon Walker into the
Outrageous.
biggest Jackson Dart fan in the history of the world.
You're safe. You're fine. You're fine.
God, I blanked there for a little bit. Where I want to go next, a trade happened yesterday in the NFL. As speaking of the Bengals, Joe Flacco traded to the Cincinnati Bengals. And what it means now, well, I guess what it means is like here's my deal. I don't think Jake Browning's the problem with the Bengals. Like, I understand trying whatever you can because you had that 2-0 start, and so you feel like you have to take some advantage of it as your house is burning down around you. But to me, the Joe Burrow injury just proved how flawed that Bengals team is, especially on that offensive line. And with what you saw to Joe Flacco in Cleveland, like, does this change anything?
No, but I was just thinking about this. Will we ever age out of a time where teams either trade or sign Joe Flacco for veteran leadership? I feel like it's been happening every year since 1985. That Joe Flacco has just been, if a team loses their quarterback early, they go get Joe Flacco. I think what you're doing with the Bengals is just you got to change the recipe a little bit. Throw something in there.
Okay, that makes sense.
Throw some
That
salt
makes
in there.
sense.
Throw some hot sauce in there and see if you can get a different taste in your mouth right now.
I don't know if Joe Flacco has ever been considered salt or hot sauce, but your metaphor still stands.
He's not, but you got to change something because right now it's not working. If you just change a little bit, if you just twist the knob a little bit, Flacco can give you a veteran presence and can physically and mentally lead a football team. And if you can just get 1 win from Flacco, 2 wins from Flacco, the arrow's pointed back up and maybe bridges you to, December 1st in Burrow?
Yeah.
There's also something, too. I think Jake Browning is the lowest rated efficiency passer when throwing to a second read in the NFL.
Oh, wow.
You have 2 elite wide receivers. I think you have a guy that just chucks it, you're good. Like, you give yourself a chance, a puncher's chance at least.
Yeah, just tell Joe Flacco, hey, you got Chase. You got Higgins.
I mean,
just throw it down there somewhere.
That's actually a good point. Like, if you're right, maybe Flacco, Evo, to your point, is way better positioned to take advantage of those talented receivers. Like, he's got to be kind of pumped here.
And he's run his course in Cleveland.
Yeah.
It did not look good towards the end, and the interceptions were terrible. maybe, yeah, change of scenery, get some nice weapons on the outside.
Change of scenery, just leaving Cleveland's football team is always good.
Shout out Joe Flacco. He came on Wake Up Barstool. He was great. How about this, though,
Elite.
guys? Look at, exactly. Look at the Browns. So the Browns cannot figure out quarterback, right? They're the elephant graveyard from Lion King, but from quarterbacks. It's where they go to die. They just had their, I believe Dylan Gabriel is the 41st Browns quarterback to start since Tim Couch. Look at this. These are all the current quarterback cap hits that the Cleveland Browns are carrying with them. Deshaun Watson, $36 million. We all know what's up with him. Jameis Winston, they're still playing him, $2.2. Gabriel's on the team. At least that million's going somewhere. Flacco's got $1 million. He's not anywhere. Shedeur, too. Bailey Zappi's still being paid. Dorian Thompson-Robinson's still being paid. And even Kenny Pickett is still being paid.
I feel bad Kenny Pickett's on this. $8,000?
$8K. Yeah. He's still got $8K, and he's still on the books.
Does he have to report that? That's
not even. They just give that to him in cash, can't they?
He's the first Super Bowl winning quarterback to play for the Bengals, Joe Flacco.
Ever.
No Super Bowl quarterback has ever gone to the Bengals.
Little treat for the boys in Cincinnati.
I did like a video of one Bengals fans that was going a bit viral of his friends trying to make fun of him for cheering for Joe Flacco. He's like, bro, look what I've been through as a Bengals fan. Okay, I've cheered for bad quarterbacks. And then he welcomed Joe to the city.
Me and my friend Alan, back in 2004, 2005, we were thinking about moving to a metro area, just be sports fans all year long, just uproot our lives and leave rural Mississippi. Cincinnati was on the short list. Cincinnati, Denver, Minneapolis.
So
we didn't go.
You ended up doing it. Did Alan?
No, he's still back home.
Hell yeah, man.
Still back home.
Alan, I hope you're having a great day.
Yeah, Alan Brown. He just had a birthday last week.
We still like Alan?
Oh, he's my best friend. One of them. I have two best friends.
Hell yeah, AB. Happy birthday.
I'm honored, man.
So I'm looking up 40-year-old athletes because Joe Flacco is 40, and I'm not saying I believe this, but is there a chance LeBron James isn't even a top 3 40-year-old athlete?
Okay, this is crazy.
All right. So there's going to be a golfer on this list, right, or something. Who are they?
Ronaldo.
LeBron better than Ronaldo at this point, correct?
I'm not talking about I'm talking about all-time athlete.
I see.
Michael
Phelps. See. The athletes who are currently 40 years old.
Yes.
I got it. Okay. Michael Phelps, Ronaldo, LeBron. All right, continue.
Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, boy.
Lewis Hamilton's 40? God, he looks incredible.
Oh, boy. So these are dominant. But LeBron's a dominant. Boy, we had a good crop of 40.
Wait, is Michael Phelps still swimming?
No, I'm talking about current 40-year-olds.
Okay.
And their athletic careers, past or present.
1985.
I mean, but then we have to put the thumb on the scale for LeBron still playing very well, though. Like, still playing very well.
I think LeBron is a better all-time athlete than Lewis Hamilton.
Correct.
I think LeBron's a better all-time athlete than Ronaldo.
That one could get a little.
Phelps probably has him. I don't know. LeBron's LeBron.
Phelps might have the
Are there any more?
peak.
Megan Rapinoe.
So no, there's not.
A better activist.
He could have the peak. Phelps could, but LeBron's longevity. Even though I really hated that whole decision thing yesterday.
Oh, it was terrible.
All right,
But
coming
they
up
brought
next.
him that idea. At any point was he like, no, that's not a good idea?
I think he doesn't care. He knows we're all going to talk crap no matter what.
I won't.
I think he's like, I'm just going to get paid.
Me and Connor are registered bronsexuals.
Wait, I'm a bronsexual as well.
Are you?
I did.
I got
the card.
I got a little burned when he stole Anthony Davis out of New Orleans like he did, but that was always kind of going to happen. But yes, I've been a bronsexual for a long time.
Everybody's getting all Pelicans players whenever they want them.
Not Zion Williamson, baby. Skinny Zion is back.
He'll be a Laker in 6 months.
When we get back, it's time for Hannah Montoya to take us in the world of football fashion. A little twist this week. Stick around, figure out what that is. FS1. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool here on FS1. It is time, once again, for our football fashion report hosted by one of the most talented people at this company, Hannah Montoya. In fact, I mean, has way more followers and viewers than this show, to be fair. So I don't know why I'm.
What is going on?
You need to be actually promoting us, Hannah.
Oh, yes.
But check out the micro pod she does. It's amazing. All the videos are very funny. Hannah takes us inside the world of football fashion every week. Hannah, what do we got this week?
We've got a lot of really good stuff and also special little twists. Look at these cards. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, look, we're grading now, guys.
Oh, yeah. We've got 1 through 10, so I want you to rate physical appearances. I feel like that should be fine.
How do the
That
kids do
special
it?
little twist, and she looked at Ebo. Thought he was going to get up and spin.
Do you want to?
Also, you can't see that I. You can't see that I peed my pants during the break. Thank you for the cards, guys.
The cards really worked out conveniently.
Perfectly.
Honestly, do you guys want to jump in?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Freaking go. All right, so right off the bat, I feel like this brings us into the Halloween season. The first time you see someone basic kind of break out a Harley Quinn costume, you know it's time for fall, baby. We've got Mac Jones in a situation. I would love to see your guys' rating on this because I was submitted this by Connor and T-Bob.
Immediately,
I was excited
at the
to
same time, I believe.
It was very much back to back. All right, do you guys have a feeling?
I love
9,
this. I'm a
1,
massive fan.
Okay.
This is only because I don't have a 0.
Oh my God.
That is terrible. That is awful. No human adult should wear that. I don't like it. That looks like something Paul Bearer would have worn when he was managing Kane in 1997. That is what it looked like.
And T-Bob, rebuttal.
Look, the reason why I'm giving a 9 here is it's just so absurd. Mac Jones is the most boring, vanilla, white bread quarterback that has ever existed. And our guy, trying to work a little swag in, just went full Harvey Dent Two-Face and not Christopher Nolan Two-Face.
No.
He went straight up Tommy Lee Jones. And I like the cognitive dissonance created by it.
It's definitely more of like a Michael Jackson Thriller music video, I feel like. It's been done before. I'm not a fan personally, but next up, I feel like at one point I always have to talk about the Kelseys. We've got Travis looking like he could put away a Guinness. I don't know if anyone has any specific thoughts about that. Orange hat down here, that's for Taylor Swift. I just feel like we have to acknowledge
What's
it,
the
whether
orange
it's
hat
good or
for?
not.
What's
For
the
her new album.
But what I'm saying, where does the orange come in? I've listened to the album.
All orange themed,
Yeah.
the whole thing, like showgirl.
okay.
But now it's your time to shine. Let's see these votes. 10, 1, Ebo.
I give it an 8.
Holy
an 8.
cow! Okay, now this is a really good difference
Yes.
right here. Connor,
I love that style of hat. I've been
Yeah.
trying to find one for myself for
Kangol.
years.
You can't do that.
I'm trying
guy
to.
and a news cap guy.
Kyle, can he do that?
You cannot, Connor, you can't do that.
Watch me, KB. But I've made a stance on Travis Kelce. I'm out on all of his pregame fits. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it.
I'm with Connie.
Are you not setting your bias aside for the drip?
For the fashion report, I'm gonna be the Simon Cowell when it comes to Travis Kelce. I'm out.
I've had
Say
some.
British?
The thing
Yeah.
is, I've had some problems with Travis lately, and it's because he hasn't had the most masculine of fits. That right there, that was pure man. And also, I've listened to the new album 20, 30 times, and I like Happy Taylor. She seems so happy now. Don't next me when I'm talking about the album, Matt.
Did we not have enough
So
cards
happy
for
now.
KB?
I'm proud of Travis.
What?
10 out of 10.
KB, how do you
And
feel about
I think
it?
are you rating his penile length or his outfit?
But all of it. Penis length, the happiness he's brought Taylor Swift after Torch Approach Department, and
Next.
the masculinity of that
It's
fit.
like a 5 out of 10 outfit. It's very
Standard.
mediocre.
I feel like you could pull off that hat very well. Okay,
Maybe
next
definitely
up we've got Justin Jefferson with this
Oh.
coat, and it's a matching set underneath it. I think it's Burberry. He posted a get ready with me. There was a lot that went into this, truly.
What type of watch is that?
Rick.
Wish I could tell you. Something I can't have on me. But
He's
yeah,
probably got a condo on his wrist.
most likely. Okay, 9, 1, 7, Ebo, 10! Holy cow.
This is
Brandon,
London
you're-
drip.
Yep.
This is good London drip.
Yep.
It is. I
Why
agree.
is that good London drip?
You gotta get a fit off. Get some fur off, you know? Go to London. get
It's
some
also
drip.
the shade of like the only one.
I thought the bag was
has.
too big. I think he's only carrying the bag to show that he's carrying the bag.
Kind
Definitely.
of bouncing off his ankle a little bit. Ebo, I feel like you had a really strong take that kind of died on the vine with the London drip.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna go, yeah.
Now that's a 10 out of 10.
Inspired
dude.
10.
Yeah, my problem with it is that it's not original. That this is the icon. This is the legend we're living up to.
Also, Liam.
Wait, is this one we're actually doing?
I mean, if you want to give it a 10, I know it's
the
a
board.
10.
Yeah, it's across the board.
I noticed Connor didn't put anything
I
up.
put a 10 up. I put a 10 up.
Oh, secret hater maybe.
No.
Also, next up, I wanted to bring up the NFL rivalries again. I feel like I've only given negative reviews, but the Bills just revealed their big time, what is it called? Cold front helmets.
Yep.
How do we feel about these?
I'm gonna go.
3.
I'm gonna go 3.
I was not expecting this.
Am I
Why is it
being
negative?
Am I being biased because they lost the game and gave rebirth to Patriot Dave?
Yes.
I'm not sure, but it was such a just New England infused show and celebration on Monday that I think I'm just being a hater.
They look G5. They look like a G5 team.
It does actually kind of, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looked like a team that doesn't have an identity that's trying to get cute. And they have an identity, and it's pretty good.
Was it cold in Buffalo the other day?
I don't think so.
I don't think it was cold
No,
anywhere
it
the
wasn't.
other day. It was like 90 degrees.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
it's been
saying. I think they
warm.
busted it out too early. Like, wait for an actual
December
cold front.
15th.
Yeah, it's been a warm.
Also, the second that they stepped out on the field, Tirico goes, "You can't see the numbers."
It should have been snowing when they broke those uniforms.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been
That's
cool.
fair. They could have waited. Okay,
Camouflage.
and then last but not least, we're gonna finish off with some dessert, you guys. So, in case anyone wants to give
No,
us a
Brandon,
rating
put that-
right off the
Oh!
we've got some cake, some in-house cake.
Oh, yes, dude. Thank you for the 10, Brandon.
Here's
He put the 10 up.
Hannah.
Oh, dude, he put the 10 up.
I put the 10 up as soon as you said the word dessert.
Right.
Here's the problem I have with this, Hannah. And I don't like his tweet from the other day when he was like, oops, didn't realize I was going to have this camera angle.
Yep.
He probably spent 45 minutes setting up that camera
No,
angle.
that was yesterday. Okay, I should have gone fisheye.
You know what you're dragging around.
Well, this was a purposeful response to my robot son, who had a picture from Friday where it looked like I had no ass whatsoever. And I that's just not true. And so I was fighting misinformation with this tweet right here.
Boy, that thing is popping.
Trapping on a Sunday, baby.
Quite the caboose.
Kyle?
Sunday morning post. That's a little wrong. I'm sorry, Jesus.
Glad you proved your son wrong about the size of your buttocks.
Yep. I had to.
Yeah, great fit. I'm
Not
really,
gonna let
really
these
happy. that we-
malicious. This is also something I've been doing since you can't work out during the yak. I just drag barbells back here to right outside this studio and work out on that green shag rug. It's not bad.
That's awesome. Well,
Might
that was the
smell
last
a little
one.
bit. Hell yeah.
I wanted to finish off on a good note.
10 out of 10,
for
boys?
T-ball.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thanks so much, guys.
Oh, Blutman's the winner, still, as he is in all things.
Yes.
I would say so.
Shout out Liam Blutman. Another football fast report with Hannah Montoya. Again, guys, go check out the Micropod. Who's on the latest one?
The latest one is Hank Lockwood.
Hell
Got a
yeah.
lot of tea on old school Barstool.
Can I be on one?
Yeah.
I like behind the scenes guys.
Giving him a
Very
platform.
nice.
Can I be on one?
Please. Are you being serious?
Yeah, I would love
Is
to
this
be.
serious?
I'd love to be on.
I almost just choked.
Look at that, guys. Look at that, guys. And then, actually, go check out the Blut Micropod episode as well. Very good.
That one was crazy.
Shout out Blut King.
All right, more Wake Up Barstool when we get back.
Shout out to Live Event Lisa for making these cards.
Shout out
Yeah,
Live
these
at
are
Lisa for making the entire studio, really. Let's talk some more NFL. There's a team in San Francisco. You just saw Mac Jones. Are they worth talking about? Contenders, maybe? Keep locked. Make him say,
Nah.
welcome back. What?
I was gonna do nah 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 nah.
Oh, I screwed that up. I'm
I
sorry.
didn't have the rhythm to do it anyway.
Welcome back, guys. More Wake Up Barstool. Shout out to Hannah Montoya. Yes, KB?
No, I'm just moving on.
I thought you were trying to get my attention.
No, I just
Oh, I'm
do
sorry.
gestures now.
All right, guys. So I want to talk about the NFL here. I want to talk about a couple of fines that were levied out. Do you want to start with Gannon or Jones?
Gannon.
All right. So Arizona Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon fined $100,000 for his sideline altercation with DeMarcado last week. Of course, if you missed it, the Arizona Cardinals lost what had to be the most improbable and deeply funny. You all remember the old NFL bloopers videos?
Sure.
Yeah.
That were so much fun to watch back in the day on
was raised on
VHS. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. This game could have been an entire VHS unto itself. And it started with DeMarcado. Should have been the game-winning touchdown. 73 yards. They said he didn't have possession when he crossed the plane.
The more I look at it, I think he might have had it.
He did. To me, the only way they can justify it, I feel like they wanted to call it, to be like, don't do that. But the only way they can justify it is if they're saying that it started to go here. Because to me, I thought he had it and then finger rolled it.
Sure. Yeah.
But whatever, I don't know. They called it no touchdown, touchback, and then through a series of wacky events, Cardinals end up losing. But here's what Jonathan Gannon did on the sideline when he, we don't have it. Okay, great. Well, Jonathan Gannon got pretty aggressive with DeMarcado on the sideline, yelling, kind of like hit him and almost like sweep kicked him a little bit.
I'm Mercado.
I don't want to stand up. I got a PM. Okay. All right. So he kind of like gave him one of these right in the chest, and then when he was walking away, he did like a kick, and it looked like he maybe like swept his leg a little bit. And Gannon has since apologized, and the league came out and they fined him $100,000. This has caused a conversation, fair or foul.
That's a mostly sports bet, T-Bob.
Okay, this has caused a conversation as to whether or not we've gone soft as a society.
There you go. That's now let's really get in the mud with this stupid stuff. So I am Mr. Like last year, do you remember I think it was Louisiana, somewhere in Louisiana, directional Louisiana football coach that got on his offensive lineman, like rode him all the way to the sidelines and was yelling and pointing and really pushing him and stuff. Anyway, I'm Mr. We need to get that stuff out of coaching. It's a vestige of old school that people swear by, but they don't really swear by it. They're just trying to be tough when they talk about it. This seemed like nothing to me. This seemed like Mercado was, he had made a huge mistake. His players were consoling him, and the coach was over there like, "We can't do that. Come on, let's go." And then just kind of gave him a little love tap. It didn't seem like it was malicious or vicious or anything like that. 100,000 seems crazy. Am I all alone on this?
Well, when I first saw the video, it was kind of in passing. I didn't notice the forcible contact.
I didn't notice the kick.
It's not. I don't want to. I mean.
He didn't punch.
Am I crazy? Am I making things up here? I mean, that's how I viewed it. But
well, I mean, you're the only one in this room that has played football at a competitive level, or maybe even at all. If you made a mistake like that, would you be getting on you like that?
I think I'm with y'all in that I don't think that this was that out of pocket. It's definitely a pretty intense dressing down, but it was a pretty intense mistake.
It's an intense sport.
I think that this is just the NFL saving face. This is the NFL saying we want to draw a line in the sand and say that this is not a good look for the league. We don't want stuff like this going viral. In fact, to prove that, I was told before the show, and this is probably why you can't play it, I forgot, the NFL's been DMCAing that video.
Oh, they've been going after it.
Yes, because it's a fan video, and apparently when you buy a ticket to the game, your ticket has a clause in it that anything you film in there is technically property of the NFL.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I think, if he doesn't make contact with DeMarcado, it's fine.
See, I don't think...
Okay, so this is the NFL being overly protective and judicious.
Of their image, yes.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Because 100,000 is a lot of money.
I don't even know if it's the contact as much as it is. I don't know if they love the intensity of the dressing down.
Reaming out a player after...
I mean, if you're gonna, it's a sport that is built on coaches being authority figures and on players who, when they make mistakes, it is maybe some dressing down is too much. That felt about right. What I saw, that felt about right. Now I can't really tell the physical contact, so maybe if it's worse than I think, I'll.
I saw Chris Long talking about it on Green Lights, and obviously he would have better insight than any of us, and he did seem to think that the contact went entirely too far.
Okay. Fair enough.
And that what if DeMarcado just like kind of flashed out and turned around and just like jabbed Gannon?
That would have been awesome.
I mean, that would have been pretty cool.
I do like how Gannon, he did apologize to the team and then went to the media and addressed it. Like, he handled it in-house first.
Listen, KB had a bad yak last week. I slapped him right across the jaw. We stood up.
No way.
I slapped KB right across the jaw. I said, be better tomorrow. You know what? He was.
Did Dan fine him?
Brandon, let's go right now.
Yeah, KB's definitely near the top of the list of people at this company that you would not want to fight.
Yeah.
He would whoop your ass, 1,000%.
I don't know.
Bro,
I think I could get to him.
Bro, you don't want to mess with a wrestler.
I think if you get to his face before he gets in his wrestling stance, you've got a chance.
Brandon, he would get inside on you and he would twist you up like a pretzel.
You get inside.
Kyle, I'm strong.
It would be sloppy. Mm-hmm. I might be stronger.
Yeah, he would.
Probably are.
You're more powerful.
What was your high school record?
What's the difference in strength and power?
I think I could maybe lift more. Could I? You don't
know.
lift weights.
I don't, but I can.
I'd go for your ankle. It would be ugly. I'd get on top of you and
it'd
What
be
am I
nasty.
doing? He'd destroy me.
He'd
not destroy you.
He'd pretzel you. Actually, I'm not going to do
Spladle.
that joke. Never mind. All right, so that was the Gannon fine.
That was a touchdown, right?
Thank you.
You give him the
Thank
touchdown.
you.
The more we look at it, the more I think it was a touchdown.
I think
If it's that close, you give him a touchdown.
I legitimately think it was a touchdown, and they just kind of wanted to pass down some lesson about not dropping the ball or make things interesting. I don't understand how they said that he was actively fumbling here.
I think the ball was definitely above the goal line.
It's already past the goal line.
His foot's right on the goal
there.
line.
That's
a touchdown.
That's a touchdown, and then he finger rolls.
It just has to cross the very beginning of the goal line.
Yes.
That's all it has to do. I think it was a
play.
touchdown.
Shout out to Mercado.
But don't drop the ball.
I'm still glad that it happened, though, because the ending of that game was so much fun. All right, so the other fine that was levied was old Jerry Jones as, they go take care of the New York Jets, win some of our coworkers a lot of money, which was very nice. And Jerry Jones, somebody's talking crap to him, and Jerry Jones looks down. I always say flips him off, points at him, and then gets fined $250,000. He would later say the gesture was inadvertent on my part. The intention was thumbs up, which is so funny.
So that's the only
Jerry,
part.
I love this.
That's the only part I don't like. If I were a billionaire and an old billionaire from Texas who never put up with any crap, I would go around flipping everybody off and just paying the $250,000, no problem. And I would not say it was inadvertent. I would say it was very advertent. I did it advertently.
But he's not sincerely claiming inadvertency in my mind. That's old Jerry being cheeky. You got to remember, he's an old wildcatter.
Yeah.
Okay, it's tough to pin that man down. That's him playing a little bit, playing a little possum, having a little fun.
But isn't a Jets fan who gets flipped off by Jerry Jones just delighted that it happened?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like if you go to a game and Jerry Jones is in the booth and you get him to flip you off, you have lived that day.
It's like your reply guys that get you to block them.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, the amount of people that constantly on a day-to-day basis ask me to ask Brandon to unblock them.
Get used to it.
You've really created quite the bit here.
No, he should take the Brandon Walker approach of I blocked you.
I like the fact that it inconveniences all of my coworkers and friends.
Yeah, it's I just never quite seen yeah.
Would you like to know the number?
Yes. How many people has Brandon Walker blocked on Twitter? I've been using the mute button a lot, and I love it. People just
I want him to know.
It's become
I
quite
want him to know.
effective.
I want him to know, T-Bob.
I don't want him to know.
I think my first intro to in popular culture, the middle finger, was Mike Vick. Was that was a thing, correct? He flicked
one?
off a fan at one point.
Yes.
I think that was the first time I was ever introduced to the idea that it was a bad thing in popular culture.
I'm not sure what my first middle finger would have been.
I just remember it being painted as the worst thing any human being could do.
Oh my God. Brandon Walker has blocked 11,450 Twitter accounts. 11,000. I thought it was 1,400 when I first looked
A
at the
small
number.
Mississippi city.
I was going to say a large.
I've blocked Grenada.
Oh my God. All right, guys. When we get back, let's talk some more college football. We got more to break down from a massive slate coming up. It's all right here on Wake Up Barstool. Hope you're having a great morning. Hope you have a great day, dude. Wednesday, playoff baseball all day. What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. This is Wake Up Barstool, and a couple of conversations from the college football realm that we didn't get to. You remember that UNC Hulu documentary?
Yeah.
That was supposed to take place? Well, as the Tar Heels just continue to collapse in every which way. Remember, we had the drama a couple of weeks ago where Bill Belichick says he's banning Patriots scouts from his practices, actively hurting his players. That was insane. Then Drake May has a performance for the ages on national television. Nary a single UNC highlight tweeted out about May until it was pointed out. Then they respond and finally tweet something out. And now, and they just got killed by Clemson last week. Now, this Hulu documentary that was supposed to take place, no longer in the works. It has been canceled.
So the fascinating part about this is what is being unsaid, because maybe the school jumped in and said, hey, we're so bad at football, we don't want to air this. Maybe something happened. Maybe there's video that they don't want to get out there. Or maybe, just maybe, Bill Belichick's 24-year-old girlfriend just said, hey, Hulu, stop it. Stop it right now. Like, any of the possibilities are fascinating of what could have stopped this.
Were they filming? Like, have you guys noticed?
We're almost
film
halfway through the
cameras?
season.
I know, but have you noticed film cameras on the side? Like, I feel like we would have noticed something of that ilk.
If I had to guess, it was probably more in the Hard Knocks vein, where probably a lot of around the building footage, practice footage, and then game day footage. They do what they can. I don't think they would want too many cameras floating there on the side. But also, there's a million cameras on college football.
Because the documentary about the documentary might be better than the original documentary.
I'm curious what they have.
Yeah.
It's like High School Musical, the musical, the series. It's like
no, it's not. It's not like
very
that.
similar.
I don't think I can follow you there. I don't know High School Musical.
Stop being nerdy, both of you.
I saw this on Twitter, and I think it was an accurate take, so I apologize for not citing it correctly, only that it's not mine. I don't think you can call it a documentary if it doesn't get shown if things go bad.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this was just a fluff puff piece the entire time. A true documentary, this would be the most fertile soil that it could possibly exist in.
it's okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, as a viewer, I'd be much more interested to see a team's massive failure than like a success story.
1,000%. This was going to be in the same vein as the Florida one that didn't really get into anything. Last Dance kind of got away with it because it was during COVID, and those Bulls are so fun.
Last Dance is the biggest puff piece that's ever been produced.
The biggest what?
The biggest puff piece that's ever been produced.
Yeah.
That was Michael Jordan propaganda so much. I think just in general, it's kind of like an authoritarian regime, it seems like, down in North Carolina right now. The fact that they're...
Yeah, but who's calling that shot?
I don't know.
Who's calling the shot saying, hey, we're not putting this out? Is it
is it
the
Hulu?
school? Is it Belichick? Is it his girlfriend? Who's calling the shot? If we answer that question, we see how fascinating it truly is. If it was Jordan Hudson, oh my God, that's hilarious.
But it just seems
if it was Belichick, that's kind of sad. If it was a school, what did we miss out on?
They're squashing so much, and I don't know what's going on. I mean, maybe it's just because it's been an embarrassing football season. I don't know.
I'm going to ask a question, T-Bob.
Yeah.
Will Bill Belichick be the head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels on January 1st, 2026?
I don't see why he would. I guess I could see how he would, because I think he's a very prideful man. Sure. And he's not going to want to go out like this, but it's not going to get any better.
Not this year.
There's not. I mean, not even next year. What single shred of evidence can you point to say, okay, they're at least doing this well, and you can build on this?
Well, you're always one portal class away from being competitive. Does he have
portal class away this last offseason?
Does he have the fire and the ability to go get that portal class? I don't know.
Here's the question. As we always talk about with college football nowadays, you have to have belief to invest. What rich North Carolina alumni is going to invest right now? I would not touch this. That you might as well take your money and light it on fire. I would not touch North Carolina with a 10-foot pole. They are the Grinch of college football.
They're in a very downtrodden time, not in terms of, I guess, their entire athletic department. Even the basketball program has taken a step back from where it once was. They need to start spending. They got money. They got money.
Well, that's actually a great point, too. Why would you pay for North Carolina football, too, when basketball needs help right now? It's just, they're dead. They're dead in the water. I got a lot of crap for this on Twitter yesterday, but Texas Tech revealed a new logo. They got rid of their beveling. They're going to a more almost minimalist, temple-esque type of logo. And I said it's sad to see another brand fall to minimalism, and a lot of Red Raider fans mad at me. Learn your history, 7 years. I don't know, dude. I like the bevel. It just looks like Big Temple and Tiny Temple here.
You're telling me college football homers were very sensitive about their team?
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Everything about this logo is worse. Everything about this logo is worse. Everything about the entire, this little rebrand is worse. The Texas Tech logo, I don't know if I ever held up on a pedestal and saying this is the best logo in sports, but it had a certain charm to it, and this one is nothing. It's minimalist.
Yeah.
It's getting rid of the interesting parts of the logo. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
There's a lot of great...
I give it a 1.
I was wondering when you were going to...
Hey, you've just been holding those.
I give it a 1.
There's a lot of great social media accounts like Culture Critic and stuff that talk about the larger kind of fall off that we've had from like beauty and falling in the middle, and it's depressing. Go look at a fast food chain from the 90s.
Thank you.
Where everything was colorful and beautiful and over the top. And now go look now, and they're just building these stock buildings so that eventually if it goes out of business, some other business can buy them and not have to do anything to change it over. Sad time to live in, and Texas Tech, you are now representative of our cultural collapse.
And it stinks because their team is right there at the cusp of being,
Yep.
They're the most nationally relevant they've been in a long time. And logos don't really matter, but they made news yesterday for rebranding to a worse look. I give it a 1.
Way to go, more like Texas Tech dead Raiders since you killed culture.
I give it a 1.
Coming up, closing out,
Oh, more breaks.
today's Wake Up Barstool. Stick around, one final segment, guys.
One more second.
Check it out, guys. Here we are live in the Barstool Sports Chicago HQ. Last night, into this morning, Barstool After Dark, they had to hit 9 Cardinals shots in a row. Here's what it looked like after 12 hours.
Tate, to send us home, Tate.
Oh, Tate hit 9? Oh, let's go.
Oh my God. We did it. We did it. Oh my God. Oh man, that's
All right, expect Tate no more. Tate coming up with the final shot, dude. Hell yeah, boys. All right, who wants a shot at skee ball? It was supposed to be skee ball, live television. Who wants it? KB, you want the rock?
No.
Evo, you want the rock?
Get
Top
it.
corner, here we go, Evo. Top corner,
He's a freak.
100,000 right here for all the marbles, Evo. Terrible.
One more try.
Yeah, go for it. One more time. Oh, let's go, dude.
I just need one warm up.
Let's go, brother.
I'll do 9 in a row right
That would
now.
have been a good way to end it. Why do we do it so early?
We have 2 minutes. That's on me. Hey, by the way, big news. Brett McMurphy just tweeting, starting today, 49 days straight of college and/or NFL football.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's the best time of year. It's the equinox. We got all these different sports all coming together, and then football every single day. It's going to be absolutely electric.
Hockey is back.
Oh, yeah,
Whole
hockey's
hockey
back.
game yesterday.
Really?
Good game.
Yeah, I watched Blackhawks Panthers. Blackhawks look good.
I got to get into the Blackhawks this year. I think I'm going to game Monday, actually.
Really? I can't
Yeah.
go. It's my wife's birthday.
See, the
Happy
Rangers
birthday,
fans
Monday.
were also Ben McDonald mode.
You just say my wife's name?
What's up?
Ben McDonald?
No.
Ben McDonald went Rangers mode? Or the Rangers went Ben McDonald mode?
What do you
are you
mean?
saying?
They were watching the
What words are you
Yankees
saying?
playoff game at the hockey game.
Connor, shoot a 3. Do something
I'll do
funny.
a half quarter. You want me to?
Okay, yeah, go for half court. Ebo, who's going to win the Cubs game today?
$100, Connor.
100?
Yep.
Shouldn't have said that. Off.
Close. One more? Double or nothing? You going to give him a double or nothing?
Cubs. I think the real winner is Big Cat, who gets to get his
got it.
check today, I believe.
He's not going to get
He's
it,
not
right?
going to get it. I hate it.
Getting
I
it.
tried to convince him that he needs to go get it. KB, do you have thoughts on that?
On
Should
getting
Big Cat accept the check?
I understand why he's not, because if there's an image of him with a gigantic check on the day that the Cubs get eliminated, it kind of like trivializes and makes him look.
But doesn't he have to set the tone?
What if they win?
No fear? Yeah, what if they win? Then it's legendary. I don't know. He's not going to do it. It's cool.
No.
Shout out to Big Cat for winning the 50-50. All right, guys, shout out to all of you. I'm going to take us out as well. That's driving me crazy. Shout out to all of you for joining us here today. And now I have to put it back in because I just remembered I don't remember when the show ends. This was Wednesday's Wake Up Barstool. We got a big Thursday coming up. Y'all have a great day. Love you. Mwah.